Have you felt like it's been harder to catch Pokemon lately, or maybe even consistently get great and excellent throws? Well, you're not alone. After the most recent update to version 0.317.0, many players noticed that something didn't really feel right. And thanks to this Silph Road post from a few days ago, it pretty much confirmed that Niantic did in fact change something. That's not the only thing though, it also seems like the aggression mechanics on Pokemon have been increased as well. I haven't really seen too many creators cover this yet, but I can kind of understand why. This is one of those issues where people might not take you seriously and just say that it's actually a skill issue. But given the amount of people struggling with these new adjustments, I thought it would actually be a good topic to cover to at least validate that you aren't going crazy. So last night I went out to gather some data on how much harder it was to actually get excellent throws on these Pokemon and how the aggression mechanics have actually changed. Now one thing I noticed while I was playing last night is that it actually seems like the hitbox was moved further back. It felt like I had to throw farther and higher in order to actually land my great and excellent throws. And another Silph Road post from 2 days ago was actually able to confirm this. Now according to the tests done on Crab Brawler, the collision point was moved further back, and in this case it's kind of behind its claw. When this player downgraded to version 0.315.2, they noticed that things were actually back to normal, which basically confirmed that this was a bug within the new version of the game. Now let's actually take a look at this Silph Road post to see what people have been saying. At the risk of being ridiculed for this being a skill issue, I'm pretty sure at some point this week something has changed with the throw mechanics. The vast majority of throws I make that look to be lined up as excellent curveballs seem to land to either side of the circle or simply not register as anything except for hitting the Pokemon as a bad throw. I noticed this yesterday and put it down to having a bad day. However, today I've noticed even Pokemon such as Mareep and Machop, which in my opinion are pretty easy to actually get excellent curveball throws, seem almost impossible to throw an excellent curveball on. Likewise, with Landorus raids, I certainly never used to have trouble hitting excellent curveball throws unless it moved left or right. However, the last few raids I've done seemed almost impossible to throw an excellent curveball. At the most, I've only managed to get a couple of excellent throws per raid. Now personally speaking, I haven't actually raided Landorus recently, so I can't say for sure how much more difficult this has gotten, but I'm just gonna take this person's word on it. If you guys have actually experienced, more difficulty trying to catch a Landorus during this rotation, let me know in the comment section down below. In addition, it also seems like Pokemon have become a lot more aggressive. Once you have released a throw, Pokemon seem to attack a lot more frequently than normal. Now I definitely do agree with that last part because, in my opinion, I feel like Pokemon have become a lot more feisty, and according to last night's grind based on the footage, it does seem like that does hold up, and I'm going to explain this a little bit later on. So let me read through some of these comments and see what people are saying. So I was thinking exactly the same today, noticing I cannot judge it correctly anymore. It's the distance that just seems kind of weird. Throws are either too short or too long, but I can't figure it out. Something has changed in the mechanic. This person says, glad to see other people echoing this because I thought I suddenly became washed. I can hit excellent throws pretty easily, but the past couple of days since updating to the newest version, I've had several throws where I would have bet big money were easily excellent, and they hit on the corners for nothing. So I can definitely agree to that too. I'm pretty decent at excellent throws, I'm not the best out there, but I don't like to think that I struggle too much with them, but lately it has felt like it's been more difficult. This next person says, I knew it, level 50 here and regularly throw 100-ish excellent throws per day. All of a sudden, I'm missing left and right. I thought I was having a stroke. Yes, absolutely, the throw feels way off. I usually get an excellent throw about 9 out of 10 times, but the last few days, not even close. What appears to be perfectly lined up shots, almost like the Pokemon is shifted a bit further back than it appears, and or the throw is originating further behind the camera. They've been messing with the aggression as well. Attacks and jumps seem perfectly timed to the first excellent throw opportunity. Pokemon slide left immediately for folks who curve clockwise, and I've heard that they shift right for those who curve counterclockwise. The other week I ran into an instance where every single Pokemon of the same species was following the exact same script, down to the second. They've definitely been messing with this stuff for sure. Borderline conspiracy stuff here, but it is looking somewhat legit at this point. And I would definitely have to agree there. I didn't even want to post this video because I felt like it was just a little bit of a conspiracy myself, but after hearing other people say the same things, I'm kind of a little bit more validated, and hopefully some of you guys are as well. This person replies, glad I'm not going crazy. Today I was thinking, why are you all jumping so much all of a sudden? Especially the Rocket Shadow. So the Rocket Pokemon specifically have always been a lot more feisty than the normal Pokemon. This next person also responds and says, the perfectly timed jumping to excellent throws is maddening. I'm growing more convinced that they've added code that can preemptively decide whether a throw is going to be an excellent throw, and depending on some sort of internal logic, either force the Pokemon to jump or attack, or add a bloom/a repulsion effect to the catch circle/randomization to the throw trajectory, or leave the throw unaffected as normal. But it's as if I'm feeling a mismatch most of the time. I could almost always tell if I was going to land the throw as an excellent or not previously. This kinda seems intentional. It's as if they want to reduce the number of excellent throws you make. Some bean counter has figured the amount of excellence you can land as you gain muscle memory ultimately speeds up progression, experience, Stardust, Pokemon Hundos too much. It feels awful to play, and I sincerely hope this gets reverted completely. Now this person also says there are a lot of people having these issues on the main sub too, so the main Pokemon Go subreddit. This is the Sylph Road Reddit, by the way. I'm gonna leave a link to this article in the description down below, along with all the other relative threads, so you guys can check this out for yourself. Something broke with the throwing physics recently. It's not a skill issue. And then this person says, no, it's still a skill issue, just for Niantic. Now I don't want to spend the whole video going over these comments. You guys can find the links to everything down below, so feel free to read through more comments if you'd like to. But with that being said, let's go through some visual examples and kind of what I experienced last night. I do have this one clip of throwing at a Stunfisk, and you can clearly see that I should be hitting those great throw hitboxes, but for some reason it just wasn't registering. I also have another clip of what should have easily been an excellent throw on a Jigglypuff. Like, I could literally go frame by frame here, and you can see that the ball is directly over the excellent throw circle, but it does not register. For my other throws on Pokemon though, I am able to land excellent throws, so it kind of seems inconsistent, which again, I'm not sure if that was an intentional design choice or unintentional. Now the second thing that I focused on was going to be the increased aggression from Pokemon. Typically this is expected from Shadow Pokemon, but not so much from regular Pokemon. Like, yeah, sometimes they are a little bit more feisty, but what I noticed was a little bit too consistent in my opinion. Now I personally freehand my throws because I do find it easier to get a rhythm within the spinning motion and timing for the great and excellent throw range. But while doing this, I noticed that as the circle would get close to the excellent throw range, the Pokemon would attack. And then when the circle got around to the excellent throw range again, it would also attack right at that moment. Now after the second time, I did notice that the pattern did go away, so I tested this multiple times on different Pokemon, and it pretty much happened consistently. If you look at the video clips on screen right now, you guys can see that the Pokemon all seem to attack around that same time, almost as if they are anticipating your throw. Now I don't want to sound crazy here, but this is just an observation. I'm not making any definitive conclusions here, but if you guys have experienced the same thing as well recently, let me know in the comment section down below. One theory I have as to why Niantic decided to change this is to actually make you spend more time trying to catch a Pokemon. The Fast Catch trick has tremendously sped up the process of catching a Pokemon, and for those of us who have played this game for a long time, we know that Niantic really likes to follow their vision of what the game is supposed to be like. We've all seen this many times in the past, but again, this is just a theory. This could definitely have been unintentional. So what happens next? Well, now we just have to wait and see if Niantic actually patches this within the next update. Historically, it has been unpredictable to say if they are going to fix it soon or if they're just going to get around to it later. We do have New York Go Fest as well as Global Go Fest just around the corner though, so I would hope that this is actually fixed sooner rather than later, but again, I can't really say. For now, I would do your best to actually go out and practice your throws to get used to these new ranges on Pokemon. Getting good with excellent throws is reliant on muscle memory, so that requires practicing over and over again. I know this isn't really what players want to do before the biggest event of the year, but again, it doesn't really seem like we have much of a choice. So with that being said, I would love to hear from you guys. Please let me know in the comment section down below if you feel like catching Pokemon and landing excellent throws has gotten more difficult, and if you feel like Pokemon have also become more aggressive. I'll make sure to update the pinned comment if anything does change, but as of right now, there's definitely enough evidence from players on the Sylph Road subreddit confirming that things have gotten more difficult. Now other than that, I don't really have anything else to go over, so if you guys want to check out some more content, watch these two videos right here.